If you want to elevate your mental health, you have to start taking care of yourself. You have to start distancing yourself from negative, toxic people. You have to become mindful of the relationships that you allow into your life. Become mindful of the relationships that you allow into your life. Become mindful as to are they constantly giving or are they taking from you? Let me explain. Are they taking your peace or are they giving you peace? Are they taking your time or are they giving you their time? Become mindful of the relationships that you allow into your life, because there are going to be many people in our lives who are in a constant state of taking. All they know is me, 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 me. You have to become mindful of those people. Oh, I am going through XYZ, and they're constantly feeding you so much drama. It is one thing to vent, but it is another to constantly feed someone drama time in and time out, where whenever that person calls you, whenever that person tries to contact you or tries to talk to you, you're like, no. You start to become distant from that person. Why? Because you already know what's going to come out of their mouth. It's something negative. It's something that's going to drain you. It's something that's going to pull you down, bring you down from where you're at. Now, I also want to clarify too, there are going to be relationships in our lives where it's going to be a back and forth, a giving and a receiving. You know, people are going to come up to you and say, I'm going through XYZ, and you guys talk it out, or maybe they need to vent, maybe they need a listening ear, or maybe they need some advice, so they can get through what they are currently going through. But when in relationships like that, when it's a constant give and receive, it's a two-way street. But if eventually within time your relationship starts to become a one-way street where it's all about me, 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 and it's all about they want to talk, and every time you try to speak, it's one ear in and out the other. Whenever you try to talk to them, they do not listen to what it is you have to say. So you are not being heard. It's a constant state of me, me, me. Pay attention to those people. Pay attention to those people who are draining your energy. Pay attention to those people who, when you have an elevated spirit and you're happy, you're excited, you're having a good time. Pay attention to the people who bring you down, who drain your energy, who feed you so many problems, so much negativity. Become mindful of those people. Start to distance yourself from those people. You can love these people wholeheartedly, but at some point is when it becomes a concern where you are not doing so great as well, because you too are going through things of your own. When these people are in a constant state of me, 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 and they're constantly taking from you, taking away your time, taking away your energy, taking away your focus from what it is you are trying to reach to, or trying to get to. Pay attention to those people who are pulling you back, holding you back, draining you, taking from you. Because if you constantly surround yourself with these people, majority of the time you surround yourself with these people who are constantly taking from you, eventually you are going to have a breakdown. Eventually you are going to burn out. Eventually your own mental health is going to be a concern. And the big question remains, now will you make it out? Will you be able to overcome it? Because once you go down, I can assure you one thing, they won't help you. Because how can they help you if they cannot help themselves? In order to take care of people, in order to help another person, you must first help yourself. You must first take care of yourself. It is not selfish to become aware of your time. It is only selfish when all you think about is yourself. When you can reach the mental state as to, you know what, I'm not doing so good. Again, become mindful of the people who are constantly taking from you. If it is a one-way street, distance yourself from those people. If it is a two-way street where you guys both can go to each other, then get advice from. When it's a two-way street, that's different. But eventually, when these certain relationships get to a one-way street where it's all about them, and you see that they are not trying, it's not what they are going through isn't going on for a few days. What they are going through hasn't been going on for a few weeks. What they are going through hasn't been going on for a few months. What they are going through has been going on time and again for a few years. That's when you have to tell yourself. That's when you have to allow yourself the opportunity to become distant from those people. Because you can see that they are not trying. You know when a person is trying. Trust me, you can really have been through the trenches. And you could have made it out. But some people will go through the trenches and give themselves so many lies, so many excuses as to why they cannot get it out, as to why life is so much against them. Distance yourself from those people. Again, distance yourself from those people who are, when your relationship is on a one-way street. Because it is not worth your mental health. And let me rephrase that. No relationship is worth hurting your own mental health. Again, are they giving or are they receiving? Pay attention to those people who are constantly taking from you. I wanted to create this video really quick. I just got off the phone with a loved one of mine, and it made me want to create this video because it made me think of an alternative perspective. And every time I write something, there's always this feeling that I get. I can't explain this feeling. It's like this feeling of like creativity, inspiration. There's like this thing that just forms within me. And every time I feel that feeling, it's an indication for me to share that very thing that's on my mind and make it public for you guys to read. Anyhow, that feeling had occurred after this phone call, as I was reflecting off of the phone call, and reflecting off of the things I could take away from the phone call, and the value I was able to get from the phone call, and understanding both for myself and understanding both with them as well. And during the phone call, it gave me this perspective, and I wanted to share it with you guys, which is anytime, like for me, for example, something I hold very, very close. I never share this, or not directly, but something I hold very close is my 5150 experience, which is me being on a psychiatric hold. That entire month of January 2020, along with the following months and hard times that happened along that year within itself, I hold very close. I never really shared that. And the reason why I hold it very close is because it's an indication of, there's two ways I can look at it. One, that was a very traumatic and horrible experience that, quite frankly, should have broke me. And if I held that perspective, and I held on to the hurt, the pain, the agony, the adversity that came along with that experience, it would have not only had caused me to go down that path that I had experienced, ultimately because of my behaviors and choices. But it would have held the power to take away the joy that I can find here within the now. Like, don't get me wrong, my life right now is far from perfect. It's not even a path that I would be able to say it's smooth sailing. It's far from that. But the perspective that I want to share with you guys is anytime you guys go through a hard time, anytime you go through like a hard, turbulent path, or you go through a difficult path, something that's caused a lot of pain, I want you to look at it from one and two perspectives. Which is perspective number one, you can let it take away the joy from your present moment. Or perspective number two, don't try to ignore and forget that experience, but try to take away the lessons that came from those experiences. For example, in the very beginning, when you're trying to overcome something challenging, one of life's tests that it feels like it is meant to destroy and break you, that path, try to learn and take away the lessons that is most beneficial for you. Maybe this experience is teaching you patience. Maybe this experience is trying to teach you a new way of life. Maybe this experience is trying to help you learn something about yourself. Maybe this experience is trying to help you develop a new perspective, or maybe this experience is trying to point you in a new direction that you wouldn't have heeded towards otherwise. Regardless of the circumstance, there is a purpose for your experiences, and if you're able to take away the lessons from you and take away the gifts from that experience, that is how you take away the power from letting that negative experience remain negative. By you finding a way to learn from that experience, you're able to find the gifts that came within that experience. You take away the power of it trying to keep you into your old ways. And the thing I wanted to share with you is I want to share two last things with you. But the first thing I want to share with you is anytime you are going through something in the very beginning, it's going to be very difficult. And the philosophy that I want to share with you is take it one day at a time. Take it one step at a time. And just don't look at this mess that you may have created. Don't look at this big problem don't look at this mountain that appears to be right in front of you. And instead, just focus, one step at a time, one day at a time. And you slowly start to implement new changes, and you slowly start to learn from your mistakes, and you slowly start to heal from that very thing that hurts you. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, there's some form of pain that caused you to react in a negative way, or caused you to behave in a negative manner. And if you're able to take away the lessons that came from that experience, and you're able to again put one foot in front of the other, take it one day at a time, when you reflect back, it's not going to be so much as it's been 1 month since ... For example, in my case, it's been 4 years since my psychiatric hold at the time of this recording. It's been 4 years since that experience, going on 5. If I round it, it's been 5 years. But an alternative perspective is it's been 5 years that I was able to continue to put one foot in front of the other from. It hasn't been just so much that time that has gone, but the time that I was able to learn from. Because that experience, yes, was a very negative experience, as you can imagine. But that experience brought me a blessing in disguise. Many life blessings in disguise. It led me to become who I am. It helped me better develop my character. It made me stronger. It made me more resilient. It gave me the ability to endure more. It brought me patience, compassion, empathy. I'm able to look at many people. I won't say it, but I'm able to look at many people and I can understand when people are like in a very depressive state or they're feeling a certain way and they're sharing their story or what they're going through. I'm able to understand, like I know what that's like. Like when I say I know what that's like, I genuinely understand. That's a gift. And the second thing I want to mention too is, before I end the video, is there are going to be people who are going to go through things in life that you may not want to remember. Such as, I don't want to be detailed here, but there's things, unfortunately, that people will experience where it's best, where you're able to try to detach and forget that experience, and you try to move on from that experience. There are going to be moments that are very dark that you want to forget, and I too have moments like that. Not to the extent to a lot of other people, but I do have moments like that. And the takeaway that I want you to take away from this is those negative experiences, any negative experience. I went with a philosophy. Negative experiences only hold power over you when you choose to let it. Meaning, some experiences you can learn from. Lesson learned, message received. And some experiences you can detach from. You try to let go. But at the end of the day, regardless of who you are, there was something that you could take away from that experience, which is it showed you how resilient you are. And that, to me, is something worthy of you to remember. I don't know what this video is going to mean for you. I apologize for the camera angle. It was just going to take a lot of effort to set it up on my phone stand, and I really didn't think this was going to be a 10-minute video. But I wanted to share, I had this feeling that I needed to share this and post it, and it just feels right.